Hey there, today I thought we'd watch a video about inside the haunted tunnels of Japan and react to it together. Hooray! Yeah, let's watch.
With over 70% of Japan being covered in mountains,
That's a lot.
which is forested, the country has an abundance of tunnels.
Especially considering how small the island is.
Avoided. From the mountain roads to the highways to the city streets, they're everywhere in Japan. And legend has it that many are haunted.
Spooky. Interesting scenery. Japan is certainly an interesting place.
All things considered, this area is actually pretty creepy.
Yeah, I can see that.
We've come out here for the sole purpose of finding this tunnel.
Wait a minute. Did he say oot here? We came oot here? Is he a Canadian?
That's actually on Victor's recommendation that we came out here.
What could I say? I like creepy stuff.
So tell me a bit about this tunnel.
I was looking for really creepy places. A lot of tunnels showed up. There's that one over in Kyushu, Inuyaki or something like that. But this one popped up quite a lot. The only thing I really know about this is you see people mysteriously vanish inside the tunnel. You hear voices while going through the tunnel.
Ooh.
But most of all, the scare factor of this is that once you go beyond the tunnel, there's a mirror that's facing down. And if you look into this mirror, it's supposed to show you how you die. I think that's kind of like the spook factor in regards to this. And I mean, it's creepy enough as is.
Well, if that's a legend that's going around, if that concerns the local officials, if there really is a mirror on the other side of the tunnel, I wonder why they don't just remove the mirror. For that matter, if this mirror is just out in the open, I'm surprised people haven't, broken it or spray painted it or something like that. Very interesting. What are those phosphor lights? The sort of extra yellow lights?
We just came around the corner and you can't even see the end. Victor is afraid of these little alcoves here.
Let me say one other thing. If this tunnel is intended for cars, you see how narrow that is? If a car comes down that tunnel, how are they going to get out of the way if they're not next to one of these alcoves? There isn't going to be a whole lot of room for them.
Which are tucked in and fairly dark. Like you cannot see a single thing. The thing is, I swear that I hear people talking from down this way.
Just me? Oh.
But I don't see anyone. Started coming down pretty bad out there. So we are gonna head to the other side of the tunnel to get a shot of that mirror.
Isn't that cheating? Like only going part way into the tunnel and then coming back out and driving around to the other side? Aren't you supposed to go all the way through the tunnel?
Before we check our fates in the mirror, I wanted to swing by and show you one of Japan's most famous haunted tunnels, Isegami Tunnel. Many stories of tunnel hauntings in Japan are born of workers who have lost their lives during the construction of the tunnel. Isegami seems to hold to this narrative while adding stories of a disappearing woman who walks the tunnel. Explorers be warned, there was a new tunnel built, but let's check out the original.
It seems like there are always supernatural stories about women, sort of like that one, but still, it's a very pretty area. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Well, maybe not that so much, but you know.
It seems to go through waves of these moments where it's clear like it is now, and then other moments where it's completely fogged out. A few years ago, they didn't have the lights inside, which really added to the creepy or scary effect of the tunnel, especially with the water running down the side here, which is on both ends. I actually find this area a little more peaceful than anything else. Let's go inside for a minute and see what it's like.
Need to do some repaving or something. There again, there wouldn't be much room for them to walk through the tunnel and someone drive through it at the same time.
Even here in Tokyo, right in the core of the city, there are tunnels that are said to be haunted. Perhaps the most well-known of which is Sendagaya Tunnel. And while it is called Sendagaya Tunnel, it's really more of an underpass, but it's what it's an underpass to that tells the story. You see, up above here is a cemetery.
That's kind of an odd way
This cemetery was
to
here
build that.
long before there was a road cutting under it. And the origin stories of the hauntings say that the construction was rushed in order to complete the tunnel on time for the 1964 Olympics.
But even so, if you had to find a place to put a tunnel, why would you choose a place like that? I'm guessing they must have had their reasons from city layout and things like that, but still, that seems like an odd choice of where to dig under to build a tunnel.
And while Victor himself isn't here with me today, oddly coincidentally, this building here is called Victor Studio. And some say that if you listen carefully to tracks and songs that are recorded at this studio, sometimes you can hear faint screams or cries in the background. Now on its surface, the tunnel doesn't really come across as all that scary or creepy. So had I not already known about the story, probably never would have suspected it. I definitely never would have suspected a cemetery up on the roof. But for now, let's head back to Kyoto and check out that mirror.
Yeah, see, look how little room there is for them. And I'm guessing the tunnel must only be one way. I mean, there's really not enough room for cars going each direction.
All right, so we are up on the tunnel overpass right now. And there's this mirror right here. And they say that if you don't see your reflection in the mirror, it means you're gonna die. But I see me. I see me.
Good old Victor.
And I don't think I'd be able to do a video on tunnels in Japan without showing you my personal favorite tunnel in probably the entire country. No stories of hauntings or anything like that, just a really neat tunnel with an incredibly low clearance. Like at its lowest point, this tunnel is only 170 centimeters. It is quite an incredible experience just to walk through it. And yes, I have hit my head on this thing more than once. And while it's closed off to cars right now, watching taxis come through here is always quite the experience. The little emblem on top has just enough clearance. You always think it's gonna hit, and then it never does.
The fact that he left the measurement in centimeters and didn't also give the imperial measurement, the inches and feet, makes me think maybe he really is Canadian. Not that that really matters for the point of the video.
Okay, so we can't see anything on either side. Dude, can you imagine if the lights went out right now?
Oh, that'd be the last thing we...
Oh, God.
Oh, come on. Come on, you know they didn't drop their camera and run. Because these are expensive cameras they have. You know they carefully set their camera down so they could get a shot of them running away. And then they'll come back and pick up the camera again later. Oh, come on. Is that it?
Yo, what's up, man?
I got a question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
Do you regret not looking into that mirror in Kyoto?
The one with the creepy tunnel?
Yeah.
You know what? I chickened out, so I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I regret not looking at it. I don't know, one of these days we get a chance to go back, I gotta do it, man.
You know what? Let's go back to Kyoto, man.
Well, then hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. I'll see you soon.
Alright, let's get this done.
Well, I guess that's it. I will say, on the one hand, a lot of the scenery, a lot of the photography was very beautiful, very nice to look at. But I was expecting some spooky stuff. These were rumored to be the haunted tunnels of Japan. And there was nothing. The one time he thought he heard something strange, it was those people walking by. Oh well, still interesting, a little bit of information about Japan and its tunnels. So I hope you found it interesting too. I hope you enjoyed it. Certainly, liking and subscribing are wonderful things to do, and tune in again next time for more stuff.